What's up, people? This is the first episode
Number
of
one.
the Amped Ravens Amped Up podcast. Got my man Charles here with me,
What's up, good people?
and today we're going to be doing the. This is going to be our prediction show. So we're going to do our prediction
Mhm.
of the Ravens schedule. Now, this might even change. We might have to do this again after the preseason is over. Right before the season start, because a lot of things can change during the preseason. So, um, we're gonna do this now and see how big of a change we have after we actually see a couple of the players play. Or hopefully none of the starters are going to be playing in these games. So hopefully we don't have to worry about none of them getting hurt. But we will get to see some of the second string and some of the players that we will be, counting on this season play in the preseason. So I'm curious to see how that might change our outlook on the season after we get to see them play in their only three preseason games this year. So we're gonna see how that goes. So let me bring up the schedule. Starting at New York on September 11th. So that's going to be a big game. It's going to be a real emotional game. Uh, September 11th in New York. So that's going to be a big one. They have, you know, they have a couple issues over there at quarterback, but I think they believe in Zach Wilson.
No, I'm telling you, I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens over the New York Ravens. The Jets got the majority of our players over there, so I'm taking the
Yeah,
Baltimore Ravens over the New York Ravens.
is Flacco still there?
Flacco, who's that? C.J. Mosley.
Mosley
Yeah, they got enough. They got enough.
is Perryman not still in the league? Is he?
I'm not Perriman. I think he in Tampa Bay.
He in Tampa Bay now?
Yeah, he down there with the old young man.
Okay, interesting. It's crazy to see he stuck around this long. He actually had some success in where was that he went after he left? Can't remember, but he had a little bit of success on that other team after he left the Ravens. Actually scored a touchdown on the Ravens, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens ain't known for. Well, I mean, now we'll see with Bateman, but we ain't
Yeah.
really known for developing wide receivers.
Let me ask you this, because there's a lot of different opinions on this. What you think of Hollywood Brown? Like, I didn't think he was bad. A lot of people, saying
I I didn't think he was bad, but I didn't think he was really good. I think he wasted a lot of opportunities, and for the style of ball we play, um, I don't think like he was a perfect fit. I think DK Metcalf in that draft would have been a better fit with the Ravens than Hollywood, in my opinion. But um, Hollywood sometimes played small, right? He played big in the playoffs. I will give him that. But sometimes he played small. So that was my problem with him. He's not bad, but you look at the class that he came out with, you could easily say he may be the fourth or fifth best receiver that was drafted out that class. Yeah, he was all right. You on mute, K?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You go ahead.
Okay, so I would say, no, tell me if I'm wrong on this. He's the best receiver that the Ravens have drafted.
I would disagree.
Who would you say?
Torrey Smith.
I don't know.
Torrey Smith.
Did he?
Torrey
I
Smith
don't.
played. He showed up in the playoffs. Let's not forget what he did to Denver. What he did to
Yeah,
Camp
he
Bailey.
he also had a much longer career with the Ravens.
Right, because he deserved to get re-signed. Like, so for what the receivers are going for now, do you think that Hollywood is
No,
worth
no,
that?
no,
Okay then.
not at all.
Okay.
Not
Terry
at all.
McLaurin, you Debo, um, DK. These guys, AJ Brown,
But I
people in
don't,
his class, they getting signed, but they producing too, right?
yeah, but if you look at the numbers, right? Just strictly look at the numbers. I don't think uh Torrey Smith ever had a season that can compare to either one of his first two seasons.
But you also looking at a different style of like Hollywood was the main receiver. Torrey Smith played with
No Bulls today.
no Bulls, no
No,
Bulls today.
I
But
don't know. I don't know what she booing about, but
I mean, she's sad, man. That's all it is. She need a hug. That's all she
that's all.
talks about.
Okay.
Yeah, but Torrey Smith, he was way better. I'm not gonna say way better, but he was a little bit more consistent than Hollywood, man. You think about this: the Lions game, Hollywood dropped 3 touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could easily say that, right? In the
Yeah.
Pittsburgh game, Hollywood went alligator arms, and he ain't played for Huntley, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of his career. He'll do well in playoff games. We up or we back or we down. He'll play. But besides that, he's not somebody that's like you're not game planning to stop Hollywood. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, this is the thing though. Torrey Smith had the drops too. Because if you don't remember, he did come back and redeem himself, but he had a game winning touchdown pass against the Steelers that he dropped.
Right?
He did come back and they threw the ball right back to him.
Same game, right? Though, right?
Yeah, same game.
Okay.
And he came back and made up for it. But he did have those games where he had those drops. And he was kind of like the same as Hollywood, where I would say they were kind of like that one trick pony. Like they just a deep threat.
So who? Okay. So my question is, who do you blame for that? Right? Now the receivers got dedicated receiver coaches that are great receiver coach, helped develop Devontae Adams,
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Hollywood had that as at his leisure, at his expense, right?
Yeah, but
You can't say that for Torrey Smith.
Torrey Smith also had a better quarterback.
You saying Joe Flacco better than Lamar Jackson?
Not overall, but throwing the football, throwing the deep ball.
So that's what Lamar, man, my bad, Flacco did best, throw the deep ball, right?
And
But
that was Torrey's thing. That was Torrey's thing.
I would not say that he had a better quarterback than
No, not overall. No, I wouldn't say that either.
yeah, nah.
But
I think
let's move on for this because this this conversation could take a whole show for real.
it probably would. Go ahead.
But for week one, I think we both gonna go with the Ravens versus the Jets.
Yep.
All right. So we both got the Ravens over the Jets, opening the season in New York, starting at 1-0.
Yep.
All right. Week two, we come back home to face the Miami Dolphins. And I think they still got a bad taste in their mouth from that butt whipping they got last year from the Dolphins. So, what are you thinking for week two
That
versus
that
the
track team that they got in Miami.
Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa?
The track team. That's what I call them. The track team in Miami. They got Mosta. They got Tyreek Hill. I mean, the team is built on speed. I don't think they tough though. I think defensively, well, they soft up the middle. So I think it plays perfect for us. And I think they learned a lot from the zero blitzes last year. So I got the Ravens winning that game. A little revenge game for them. I got them definitely winning that.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see what everybody that's watching right now also thinks about the games we're going to be mentioning. So if you have your input, drop it in the comment section. So, and I'm with you on that because one reason, Tua. I don't believe in him.
Yeah, I'm not a believer in him either.
I don't believe in him. And you got this deep threat receiver, but you don't have a quarterback that's going to get it to him.
Yeah,
So I guess their plan is to throw slants and crossing routes to him all game.
probably.
And I think that feeds right into the Ravens' hands.
Yeah, especially early on. Again, we're not going into it with everybody on IR, so
Hopefully.
that'll help. Yeah, I'm saying hopefully. I'm speaking positively on that one, and I want to see what our new defensive coordinator got planned for them, like their mid-game adjustments.
I feel like he's going to be conservative out the gates.
You think so?
Out the gates, I think so because I guess he's still going to be feeling his way through, trying to check out. Got a lot of new personnel on the field, or at least new to him.
But he also
And we,
good at generating pressure, right? So I mean, he did that at Michigan. He
mm-hmm.
ended up getting Hutchinson, a
Second
first
pick
round grade. Yeah, I mean,
should have been the
we can
first pick.
we can do that with if we can do that with OA and match somebody on the other side. I think that again that will slow them down because we play press at the line and just dare them to. He'll have to throw the ball over our head. And I don't think he had the arm strength to do that.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think he do.
I think our strength on defense is the secondary this year. So I think they're gonna let them go out there and play. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
go out there and let them play. So we'll see how that goes. So right now we got the Ravens off to a 2-0 start, and then comes week 3, the New England Patriots. What are you thinking?
That's a win. That's a win. Um, First of
So
all, they
you
don't
don't.
even know who their offensive coordinator going to be. He's not even giving no names for that. I'm not a big fan of Matt Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they run the ball, but I'm not a. People don't run on us, right? The game is
Right.
early. If the game was later in the year and we talking about weather, would be a factor. But this is going to be a short sleeve game, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gonna have the short
What's
sleeves on.
what's
So
this? What's the date on that? I
the 25th
uh yeah,
September.
it's September 25th, so it'll still be hot out.
Yeah, it's still a good game, man. So I think we are 3-0 after this game.
And this is probably gonna be the early season game of the year right here. At home versus the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, I got this being our first loss at the
Okay.
crib. I got this being our first loss. I think Buffalo is probably the most complete team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Josh Allen, what can he do is the question. Um, and it's a team that really don't need a 100-yard rusher to get busy, right? Josh Allen
No.
won't give you whatever he gives you. He can
Mm-hmm.
give a nice 50. Um, he spreads the ball around. You see what he did last year in that Kansas City game.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs wasn't even the lead in touchdown. So I think this is our first loss of the year at home to the Buffalo Bills.
Okay. And I'm probably going to agree with you that on that. They have Von Miller now,
Yes, sir.
so yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. Their defense is stacked. They got those two safeties. This I want to say one of the best safety tandems in the league right now. So Lamar Jackson going to have a challenge.
Yeah, remember that number one cornerback coming back too? I think Darius White.
Oh
He
yeah.
got hurt last year. He's
Yep.
gonna be back. So he a true number one lockdown corner. Um, Again, they mess around and put him on Mark Andrews.
I think this is where these type of games is where we're going to miss Hollywood.
Wow, he gonna drop the ball? We're gonna miss somebody else dropping the ball.
Even if he dropped the ball, he still demanded that over top coverage. He still demanded that safety to shade over top of that corner to make sure he don't get beat deep.
Well, I still think
I
they
don't
got
think
speed though. Dog.
I don't think we had nobody to scaring anybody deep right now.
I mean, Duvernay got speed, right?
Yeah, but he's not as fast as Hollywood.
I mean, that's like saying somebody not as fast as Lamar. He got speed though. He ran, I think, 4.3, 40 at the combine. So he just hasn't had an opportunity to show how fast he is because it's hard to really show that on kickoffs,
I
right?
mean, he is a Pro Bowler.
Right. I
He's a
think
Pro Bowler.
I think that this opens up a quick backtrack. You got to remember, like Hollywood has been requesting a trade for the last 2 years, almost 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this would probably go into why the Ravens were selecting receivers at that point. So
Right.
that's why they got Bateman, but more so they got Duvernay because they knew at some point they needed somebody that was fast enough. Now he's not as shifty, but just straight line speed. He ran track. It ain't no slow people running track. That's
But
a prerequisite.
this is one thing though. You said he's not as shifty. I haven't seen any shiftiness out of Hollywood, honestly.
Really? That Colts game? Man, that I was at the game.
Almost
He,
every time he catches the ball, he goes down. It seems like.
well, I'm just talking about in and out the routes and in
I'm
and
talking
out of his
about.
breaks.
Yeah. You're right about that. But I'm
And he
talking
got a
about.
little bit of
I'm
wiggle
talking
to him.
about. I'm talking about after the catch for the most part. He
Well, and
doesn't. He
that
doesn't do much after the catch, and I think Duvernay will be a little bit better
so
after the
that's my
catch.
point, right?
Yeah.
Like for the style of ball we play,
Hmm.
straightforward, tough, hard nose. It's a man in front of you. You need to get over him to get the first down. Hollywood ain't will give you that. Now, where we going to? I'm agree with you. Where we going to miss Hollywood is just the fear of the speed because people already knew he was fast, right? So
Hmm.
that was a prerequisite. You would have to either have a safety over or play him off and to have a linebacker cover under, or drop to his side. So I get that, but I think we'll
Yeah.
be in a good space.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about Isaiah Likely in training camp, the new tight end they got. So I'm curious to see how they're going to implement him in the game plan because I know Ravens love those tight ends and they
Think how
love.
they use Hayden Hurst.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
that's
I'm
how you
thinking.
can see them using him. How they
Yep.
use Hayden Hurst.
Yep.
Opposite opposite Mark.
Yep. The year Lamar won that MVP is when we was going heavy with those three tight end sets. So we got Boyle back healthy this year. They also drafted Kohler at tight end and Likely, who was really like a big wide receiver, a
Yep.
little bigger, slower wide receiver. So I'm curious to see what they do. Question for you though,
Yep.
before we go on to the next game, because I also have this as a loss. So we both have the Ravens taking that L on week 4. But the wide receiver position, what do you see the depth chart working out? How you see that depth chart working out? Because I'm thinking that not Duvernay but Prochet has the hand up on that second spot.
So I think Prochet is going to be our third wide receiver because he's going to mainly operate out the slot. So
Hmm.
Prochet isn't somebody that I would put on the outside, but he got wiggle. He get in and out of his breaks, and being in the slot, you got to have the best hands, right?
And
So
he
he
definitely had the best hands.
he has the best hands on the team.
Hmm.
So I like Bateman to start.
Hmm.
It'll be between Duvernay and Wallace on the outside. Um, I think that'll alternate depending on who we playing. I like Prochet in the slot, the three. Um, so if Duvernay's the two, Wallace is going to be the four. And I'm a Devin Williams fan, man, out of Oregon. I hope
Yeah.
he's able to get some good play time. Big body, he's fast, coming out of a pass happy offense.
Yep.
So
I love his tape when I watched him out of the draft. So yeah.
yeah.
But my next question is, do you think we add somebody?
um, I'm going to answer maybe. It'll be after cuts though. They want to see now if somebody um get cut for salary cap reasons. There's a chance the Ravens you know, pick them up, but
Hmm.
maybe not because maybe the wide receivers coach saying we got the guys that get it done here. They know the system. We've been working with them. Let's give them a shot. And bringing in somebody, it's only going to bump somebody down, in my opinion.
Yeah, but after Duvernay, like I don't have a lot of faith in Wallace.
He hasn't had an opportunity, right? He killed in college. It was comparing him to Steve Smith.
I mean, everybody, all of them, everybody in the NFL killed in college.
Right? It's true. That is true, but we won't know until we give him an opportunity, right? Like
Hmm.
if Pittsburgh never gave Antonio Brown the opportunity to run punts back and put him in the slot because he wasn't a high draft pick
Yeah,
at all.
I almost feel like I would have rather kept Boykin.
He had his shot.
He did. He didn't. He made plays though. He made plays, and
He,
he's a type of the body type that we don't have on the team right now.
but in 3 years, if you don't know the playbook, who falls that?
Well, yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, like you got to know your job, and not knowing it after 3 years is
Yeah.
frustrating. He got all the intangibles, but we'll see because he in Pittsburgh, right?
Yep. He in
And if
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh can't do anything else, they develop receivers,
But
right?
they also don't have a quarterback, so
But
we'll
I
see how
agree
that
with you on
goes.
that. Yeah. But
Well,
I think Miles Boykin's gonna be Miles Boykin wherever he go until he gets serious about him.
yeah, we'll
Cause
see
you
that.
remember him and Clay Shea. Clay Shea was in the same offense.
Yeah, they did. They did play together at Notre Dame. So
Same offense. And if you look at them, they two different receivers, right?
yeah, yeah. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the next week, which is a night game, 8:20. I guess that's Sunday night football
Mm-hmm.
at home versus the Cincinnati Bengals, the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals.
I think that's a win. I think
You think
that's
that's a win? Okay.
I think that's a win. So without going too far ahead, I think they're gonna split, right? I think
Hmm.
they're gonna win their home games. So Cincinnati's gonna win in Cincinnati, Baltimore's gonna win in Baltimore. Baltimore, and because this game is so early, there's been a lot of stuff said. Well, what's his name? Major Apple, whatever the cornerback name is from Cincinnati, he was talking about Lamar just throw a whole bunch of turnovers. Joe Burrow talking crazy. The chalk clock saying he loved playing Baltimore. That's where he get his numbers up. It's been a whole bunch of stuff
Oh,
said.
I ain't hear that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So you remember when Joe Burrow passed for 400 yards against us? He was passing against was it Kevon Seymour and all
Anthony
these.
Avery was Anthony Avery even playing?
In one game he was, but
Hmm.
I mean, I'll give you one better. Tony Jefferson, we got him off the street and he played in the last game. The last time we played him.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, you gonna go off. You gonna go off, and but we ain't gonna forget. And this is the opportunity we remind them, right?
Hmm.
Exactly who we are. So I think this game is a little personal for the Ravens, especially. There's gonna be a lot of emotion involved. What happened to them last year? I got them winning this game. I got them. I got had this being a win. They both got two good field goal kickers, but I think Lamar Jackson's gonna make enough plays at home to beat Joe Burrow.
All right, so this is gonna be the first game we differ on. I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this game, and I know we have everybody back on defense, but the Bengals just got a lot of offensive firepower. You know, they got Joe Mixon. We got to deal with him. We got to deal with the receiver. What's his name?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. We got to deal with him. Got to deal with the tight end. Like, got to deal with Joe Burrow. So I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst played for them now.
Yep, Hayden Hurst play for them now. Is their second tight end.
But
So,
what did you say? So they lost their starting tight end. I think he went to the Jets. Um,
oh, you
but
talking about what's his name? I can't even think of his name now.
I
So
think he went to the
Hayden
Jets.
Hurst is the starting tight end now.
Yeah, I think you said our strength is our secondary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Joe Burrow does all that? And let's not forget, we have a new safety, and I'm not talking about Kyle Hamilton. I'm talking about Mr. Williams, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Free safety
Free
from the
safety, right?
Saints.
Yeah, that's going to make a difference, right? So if we have, and we're assuming that we'll be healthy, but we're talking about Marcus Peters, we're
Mm-hmm.
talking about um, Marlon Humphreys, we're talking about our safety combo, and we have a hopefully a defensive coordinator is able to make adjustments. The Bengals haven't shown us that their offensive line, even though they went out and got a couple guys, that they're gonna be able to protect Joe Burrow. He
We
took
even
9 sacks in one game, right? So if we're able
mm-hmm.
to generate pressure, that kind of changes how long he's out there.
and that's what I was going to get at. If we can get pressure on them,
Mhm.
I think we have a much better chance of winning that game. And right now, the only pass rush that I have a little bit of confidence in is Owe. Now we did pick up uh, Michael Pierce, even though he's a little bit long in the tooth, he should be able to generate some rush up the middle. And I'm actually excited to see what Dalen Hayes does this year
Mhm.
because he started showing out a little bit at the beginning of the year last year before he got hurt. So I'm curious to see how he does this year. And maybe who knows? We might have. I might that might be precedent. We might have Bowser back by this time. That
So
might
I
be
don't have neither
precedent.
one of them coming back until like after the bye, possibly, and that's the best case scenario. But
Oh, for Bowser.
don't forget about Justin Houston, right?
Yeah,
Um,
we did re-sign Justin Houston.
I think up front we're in a better position,
Hmm.
not just from a player perspective, but you had Wink Martindale last year talking about sacks don't mean anything. This is what your
Yeah.
defensive coordinator is saying. So if he doesn't put a lot of value on sacks and he has his linebackers dropping back in the coverage all the time
Hmm.
and he's blitzing his corners all the time, that's probably why you see a decrease in sacks, right?
Yeah.
But again, our new DC, his edges generated pressure. Like
Yeah.
prior to him being there, Hutchinson or what's the young man we drafted?
Oh, in the second round,
What's his name?
Aquanu.
Neither one of
No,
them.
no, not Aquanu. What's his name? Damn, I can't think of his name. He just signed his contract.
It'll hit me, but neither one
Yeah.
of them. Neither one of them were generating pressure to the point where they were being talked about as first round draft picks. Right?
Yeah. Hmm.
He had you talk about somebody who had 14 sacks and 10 forced fumbles.
Mm, that's impressive.
Yeah, just you think about, and we talk about not a lot of blitzing. This was generating pressure with your front seven.
Ajabo. Dave,
Ajabo, David
David
Ajabo.
Ajabo. Yeah.
So
Who also
Houston,
probably, I don't think he's gonna play this year, but we'll see.
no, he shouldn't, but
Yeah.
Houston falls right into that role.
Yeah.
He'll be opposite Owe.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. So let's go on to the next game. Week 6. Oh, actually, this is week. How did I skip a game? Yeah, it is week 6. I'm sorry. Versus at the New York Giants. So we had 2 trips to New York this year. 2 trips to MetLife Stadium this year.
When they gonna run it up on Wink.
Yeah, I think the Ravens win big this week.
Yeah, that Wink Martindale's the DC.
Hmm.
He's gonna feel like he got something to prove that game. The Ravens gonna feel like they have something to prove. I got the win in that game
Yeah, same here. Daniel Jones, don't really believe in him.
at all.
Uh,
The wide receiver Tony, don't believe in him.
they do have Saquon should be coming back healthy, but
We say that every year, right?
yeah,
Right.
but
So
he can only do so much by
and
himself. So
teams don't run on us, right? I
hmm
hate to keep laboring, but that's not what we weak on.
so yeah, so as far as run stoppers, I think we stack. I think we stack at run stopping. We still got Calais. The kid Travis Jones, I think is going to be a beast.
I heard he's killing. He just got to get in NFL shape as far as knowing how to play hard for downs on end. First,
Oh, I forgot when we was talking earlier about generating a pass rush. Don't forget about Metabike. I think he's gonna have a big year this year.
he needs to, right?
I think he's gonna have a big year this year.
Yeah, he needs to. We was hoping for a big year last year.
He didn't play bad. He didn't play bad last year. He didn't
Well,
play
he
bad.
just didn't generate a pass rush last
Yeah,
year. He did really well against the run, but he just didn't generate a pass rush last year.
yeah. So we both going for a win. Week 6. Moving on to week 7, the possible, and that's not looking good now, but the possible return of Deshaun Watson versus the Cleveland Browns at home in Baltimore. What do you say about the Cleveland Browns?
I got us winning that game.
Yeah, I
Whether
think.
he plays or
Yeah,
not.
I think we win a game whether he plays or not as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
I think um, if he does play,
it'll be his first game back.
it'll be his
So
first game back. So he'll be in preseason shape. I don't see that going well against a team that's at that point kind of cruising along.
I honestly say we have a better chance of winning that game if he plays his first
Yeah,
game.
yeah. I don't know. So here's my thought on that though. Just him in general is if he, let's say he goes to court, right, like
Mm-hmm.
Brady did, and he plays this year, and they suspend him next year, he'll lose more money next year because that's when his contract kick in.
But I don't
So,
think he's not going to be going to court.
well, so it's going to an arbitrator. If he disagrees with that, he can appeal it and take it to court. If he take it to court, that's like what Brady did that year that he got ended up getting suspended. He got
Mm.
suspended the next year. If he gets suspended next year, he's only playing for $1 million this year.
Right,
If he gets suspended next year, he'll lose more games and more money than he would this year.
right.
Right?
But that's why he said he's sticking by whatever the arbitrators set forth. So right now it's the NFL that's appealing
I
the
think he get
six
12
games.
games. I think he get 12 games and a fine because from what I understand, that's what was on the table initially. Anyway, they
Mm-hmm.
offered him that. He said no, thank you. So I think he get.
Wouldn't that almost be a slap in the face to the judge that they brought in to hear the case? We wanted to give you 12, but we're gonna let the judge decide. And when the judge came back with something they ain't like, oh, we just gonna do what we're gonna do anyway.
But that's the NFL, right? Because they set the precedence. How they built it into collective bargaining is they can go through the arbitrary process, get a judge. The judge can file in their favor or not, and then if they disagree with it, it can go to Goodell. Goodell just made a decision to send it outside of him, but he's going to pick the person. But it still falls on the end of the league. And the players, they agree to this in the collective bargaining agreement. So
Yeah.
they're getting exactly what they asked for to some degree.
Yep, this is true. So we'll see how that works out. Most likely within the next. Well, we'll probably know this before the season starts. But either way, it doesn't change any of our decisions. We think we win this game, Week
Oh,
7
yeah.
versus the Cleveland Browns, if he plays or if he doesn't play.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to the schedule. And Week 8 versus the GOAT in Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Ravens.
I got that being a loss.
Thursday night game.
I got that being a loss for us.
Mm-hmm.
Just the turnaround and travel. So you playing on Sunday, then you turn right back around and playing on Thursday, and you have to go to Tampa. That's not in our favor. And then you playing the boy wonder, who him and the refs, they gonna probably have breakfast that morning together, and maybe lunch, depending on who's treating. So I got that being a loss for us. Um, won that game.
I'm gonna have a real controversial take right here. I think this is the year Tom Brady hits the wall. I think this is the year he hits the wall. I think we've seen enough of Tom Brady in this Tampa Bay offense to figure out how to stop him at this point. And honestly, he wasn't really doing anything spectacular as far as deep down the field passes. He's still the same crossing routes, out routes, short passing routes, get the ball out your hand type of offense. And if we have our healthy secondary coming into this game, who can man up on these receivers to give our line some time to get in there and have him hold the ball just a couple seconds longer than he would like to, I think we got a chance to get at Tom Brady this game.
We talk about him hitting the wall every year, right? So I'm
Yeah,
not
but
gonna believe he gonna hit the ball until we do it.
We're gonna be right at some point.
Yeah, eventually, right?
We're gonna be right at some point.
Eventually, I mean, but he's still got outside weapons. I mean, Gronk is gone, but he got Kyle Rudolph now, he's older.
He's not Gronk.
No one's Gronk, but who can manipulate defenses? And I think it's because I'm picking it because it's on a short turnaround, right? So we play Sunday, game over Sunday, Monday we're on a plane, possibly Tuesday, preparing for a Thursday game. So the body really doesn't recover like it's supposed to, or get a chance to heal like it's supposed to. and it's in Tampa Bay. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they got Julio, Mike Evans, was it Chris Godwin?
Mhm.
They can stretch you out with three, and then they still got Tom Brady, who isn't traditionally a person that holds the ball that long. So he gonna get the ball out in his hands, and then they can run the ball a little bit.
I think this is going to be Kyle Hamilton's coming out party.
Okay,
This is going to be Kyle Hamilton. This is the type of game I think he would excel in.
and you know what? I say even if he excels, we lose by three.
Okay. All right. So I think we different on two games so far. So let's go on to week 9. So this is almost like a little mini bye right here.
We win.
We got a Thursday game, then we don't come back till Monday. So that's a nice little number of days off we got in between these two games. So two back-to-back primetime games, Monday night in New Orleans versus who? Who we playing?
I think it's gonna be Jameis.
All right, so we're gonna be versus Jameis Winston. Didn't they draft the quarterback?
Yeah, but not high. And then
Okay.
they still got the guy they was talking about 2 years ago threw the ball better than Lamar, but they allowed him to play last year and he was horrible. Remind you of Tebow.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm not really
Yeah, I'm not.
sold on New Orleans.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a win on week 9. So I'm gonna put this down for the Ravens versus the Jameis Winston Saints.
Hmm.
All right. Then we have our bye. Okay. So week 10 bye is placed very well right in the middle of the season for the most part.
I'll take it.
So I like where that bye is placed. And then we come back home after the bye to the is it the Baker Mayfield? Is it the Baker Mayfield Carolina Panthers or the Sam Donald
I think Baker
Carolina
is starting
Panthers?
by then. I think Baker is starting by then. I actually won't be surprised if Baker isn't starting by week 6. So, but you got Christian McCaffrey who's hurt often.
Hmm.
Um, was it Robbie Anderson? I'm not sold.
Nobody scares me. Even the All Pro Christian McCaffrey, nobody runs on us.
No, and
So
I'm not sold on that. I'm not sold on that. And this would be a game that Kyle Hamilton would do really well in, also, right?
hmm
So when you want to put the back in the flat, or stretch the defense out, we can do 6 DBs and just bring one down to drop down the linebacker spot and cover him.
do you think
So
he's starting by this point? We know he's going to be playing all games, but is he the the strong safety taking Chuck Clark's spot by week 11?
not as long as Chuck Clark got the green dot,
Well,
right?
will
And
he will he will he take that green dot by
I
then?
don't think so. I
Okay.
don't think so. Because he's still trying to. I feel like he's still thinking, so he's not able to play fast. And you can't wear the green dot if you are still thinking, right?
No,
That
no, no, no.
requires.
Hold up. So this is the thing. He's not competing with the green dot with Kyle Hamilton.
What you mean?
He's not competing for the green dot with Kyle Hamilton. He's competing with Marcus Williams.
I don't think he takes. Well, he's definitely not taking Marcus Williams' spot.
No, no, no. I'm
Right.
talking about as far as just the green dot.
Oh, you talking about? You
The
think
green
Marcus
dot.
Williams will have the green dot?
He been having a green dot in the training camp so far. And I guess they just trying to get him acclimated. Not training camp, but the mini camps they had right after the draft.
But right now, in training camp, Chuck Clark is wearing a green dot, and I
Hmm.
think it's just so one.
He earned that. He earned that.
He earned it, but
Yeah.
then they didn't know if they was going to trade him or not, right? There was,
I thought for sure they was going to trade him after that draft.
yeah. I was hoping they didn't, right?
Yeah, I want to keep him too. I want to keep him too.
That would be my thought. But in reference to this game, I think um, we win. And in reference to Kyle Hamilton, I don't think he takes Chuck Clark's spot. 'Cause I
And,
think Chuck Clark is going to ball this year. Let me be clear on that. I think he is going to ball out this year.
So you don't think he's going to take a spot at any point this season?
at any point. Now I think it's
Mhm.
going to be a transition from this year to next year, but I think he will be able to get his snaps, make his impact in the game. But I think Chuck Clark is going to ball out this year.
Okay, and this just gave me something else to think about. Another episode we're going to have to do is this the roster prediction, because that secondary is stacked, and some people are not going to make the team.
Yeah, well, we just lost a linebacker today to ACL. So,
Who was a
um,
starter?
no, it's a guy we brought in, Vince Beagle. I think that's his name.
Beagle. Okay, damn.
Yeah, so he's done for the year.
Yeah, that's tough. That was one of our weakest spots because we don't really have a middle linebacker right now.
Right. So
So
you got Bynes and Queen right now.
Queen, I think Queen days at middle linebacker are over.
Well, I think they're gonna play him at weak side.
Yeah,
So
because he made plays there when he didn't have to think and he could just react. That's where he started feeling
yeah,
comfortable making plays. So,
yeah, I think he is like a well backer, but we'll see.
hmm
Um, but it goes to your point, we thin there. But I think in this defense, Mike McDonald defense, they is more emphasis on DBs, so we'll
hmm
carry more DBs than
that's all.
linebackers.
That's almost a spot either Chuck or Hamilton is going to be in.
And that's what I'm saying. So when they
Yeah,
go 6 DBs, one of them will come down to the box,
and I think that's Chuck.
right?
I think that's
So
Chuck. But
you gotta
they
remember, he not that. He's he's not fast. He's aware. So
who
having him,
who neither one of them are fast.
well, Kyle Hamilton is in one-on-ones. He hasn't been faring well, right? But I
hmm
think playing him off of the line of scrimmage and everything in front of him,
hmm
he's smart enough to analyze what's going on and make
And react.
and react and make the play.
Yep,
So
what you did. So we both got the Ravens taking week 11, or am I jumping the gun on that?
no, we got
hmm
that.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's go back to the schedule, and now we on week 12 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville, going up against Trevor Lawrence. They actually playing right now. Game I think is still on. Who you got in this game?
I don't care if it was Trevor Lawrence, Lawrence Taylor, Lawrence McCutcheon, the Lawrence brothers. I no, no. I think we win that game. I think we win that game. I think Trevor Lawrence is probably 2 years away. Need to give him some more weapons.
I don't know.
Uh,
You see the type of jump Burrow made in his second year.
yeah, but think about he didn't make that jump until he had Jamar Chase also,
Yeah, that's true.
right? So, um,
And
on
with
the
their first pick, they went with defensive end who actually made a sack today in his first game.
you gotta for your quarterback. You think about when Josh Allen made his jump, they wouldn't have got him Stephon Diggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get these quarterbacks a dog or a draft one that's going to say the ball is in the ass mine.
Right.
If I'm coming down with it or you not get it, or it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So, yeah, he doesn't have that right now. Um, I think next year they'll probably draft a receiver or overpay. I mean, because they paid Christian Kirk all that money, and he's not a number one receiver.
Right.
He was working out the slot in Arizona. So, no, I got us. I'll be able to say by how much once I see who we got going into the game. But I have
Right.
us with the dub on that one.
Yeah. Same here. Nobody just really scaring me on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
At all.
They might have a decent pass rush by this time in the season, but other than that, nobody on offense that scares me, and nobody in the secondary scares me either. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So now we're gonna move on to week 13 versus the Denver Broncos at home, 1 o'clock game, M&T Bank Stadium.
That's a win.
Russell Wilson, don't forget we got Russell Wilson now.
That's I'm that's a win, right? They have big wide receivers. We got big cornerbacks.
hmm
big safeties. They just lost one of their receivers. I think a slot receiver. We lost him to a torn ACL, so he'll be gone. I really don't see what's his name, Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
No, no, it was their defensive
Oh,
end,
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. Um, he hasn't. He's hurt sometimes, so he hasn't been really
Hmm.
giving us like the most. So I wouldn't say I'm afraid of anything over there. I think we match up well against them. So I think that's a and again that's a West Coast trip, so they got to travel all the way over to see us, and that
Hmm.
doesn't fare well on West Coast teams the majority of the time. That travel.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So nothing that really scares me. Definitely had respect for Russell Wilson, but nothing else on this. You can't win a game by itself. So, all
Hmm.
right. So all the way to week 14 is our first time seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is in Pittsburgh, 1 o'clock game, a Crucial Stadium. No more Hunt. What is it? Hunt Field or Hunt Stadium?
Huntsville.
Heinz Field.
Yeah,
No more Heinz Field. It's now a Crucial Stadium.
I got Pittsburgh winning this.
With
Um,
who? What? With what quarterback?
Mike Tomlin is the coach, and he will figure a way to win a game. I think that Pittsburgh going to be a little bit more competitive with, and it's a rivalry game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they know they know us, we know them. Um, it is what it is, and it's in Pittsburgh, so it's a tough place to play. I think that they win it, maybe by a field goal, um, not a blowout. It'll be one of them tough, gritty games. They still have a good defense, reigning defensive player of the year,
Mm-hmm.
still on their team. Um, I think that this game would be close, depending on, if they're healthy and we're healthy. I think it'll be close. They have Najee Harris, a good running back. They have a good tight end, two good wide receivers, and if Miles Boykin is anything development wise, we'll see. But and then didn't they draft the kid out of Clemson in the second or third round, wide receiver. From what I say, he's been killing up there. Needless to say, I think that the Ravens lose their game.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you why I think this is a Ravens win. By this point in the season, I think we're going to be seeing the rookie quarterback
Good point.
playing. I think we're going to see the rookie quarterback playing somewhere around this point in the season, if not earlier. Uh, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is probably going to be playing a Pittsburgh kid, come from University of Pitt. I think he's going to be playing at this point, and he's going to have to deal with that Ravens defense. So it's going to be a tough game for him. I'm going to give this one to the Ravens, week 14. So we're getting towards the end of the season. It's already looking real good for the Ravens
It's
so
looking
far.
real good for the Ravens.
All right, so let's go to week 16. Oh no, let's get
15.
week 15 versus the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland this time.
I think that's a loss,
I'm gonna give this one to the Cleveland Browns.
and we agree on that. So
I'm gonna give this one to the Cleveland Browns.
I think by this time, Deshaun Watson is playing,
He's in his groove.
and they do have a decent team, right?
Yeah, they still got Miles Garrett.
A monster.
Yeah, so I think by this point they will have their act together. Even if he gets suspended for 12 games, this will probably be like his third game back at that point. So
Hmm.
I think he'll be ready to go, amped up. And this might even be, I'm not sure, but this might even be their first home game, his first home game. So I'm going to get that to them. All right, week 16. We got 3 more games to go. And we're almost coming up on an hour. So we should be able to end this perfectly at an hour. Week 16 at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. Is that Mariota?
Mariota, Mario Brothers, whoever you want to call it. I don't care who playing at that point. Mario Andretti, like anybody. No, that's a win for the Ravens. Big. You talk about a team that doesn't have a lot of weapons. You got your number one receiver suspended for the year,
Out for the year.
right? Kyle
Quarterback
Pitts,
gone.
right? Kyle Pitts, um, your tight end, who's going to throw in the ball. I'm not really seeing a running game. Defense is not great.
They just drafted another receiver, right? They drafted
It did, but again, who going to throw him the ball?
yeah.
Like right now, if you playing fantasy football, the only person you should draft from the Falcons, or the two people you should draft, is Pitts and what's the dude that play running back / wide receiver? He played
Who,
in,
Patterson?
was that his name?
You're not talking about the one that played for the Vikings, are you?
Yes, Cordell. Yes.
Cordell Patterson.
If you drafted him last year in fantasy football, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Put up crazy numbers, right? Those are the only two people you should draft for the fantasy football. That's it.
Got you. So, what was that week? 16, we both got the Ravens. Now to week 17, our second matchup at home versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to give this one to the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I had the Ravens win this game also.
All right. And then week 18, finishing the season out on the road versus the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals. This might be a flex game. Don't know the time. Don't know the day. So if this game has any playoff implications, be sure this is going to be either a Sunday night or Monday night game. Probably Sunday night game because they don't do Monday night last week of the season. So possibly a Sunday night game if it has any playoff implications. And according to the schedule, it won't. But I mean, according to our predictions, it won't. But what do you say?
I got the Bengals winning this.
Okay. In Cincinnati, I'm probably gonna go with you again. Cincinnati, like I said, got a lot of weapons. They're gonna be possibly either us, even maybe possibly them, maybe resting players going into the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the rest of the season. So this is a hard one to pick, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this one to the Bengals. So let me tally all of this up. So let me see what you have first. So you have the Ravens 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got the Ravens with 12 wins. And let's guess that would be 5 losses?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got the Ravens at 12-5. And I got the Ravens at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I got the Ravens at 13-4. Either way, good season. I will be happy with either one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I think 12-5 or 13-4 will win the division.
13-4 might even get you the number 1 seed.
I don't know. I don't see Buffalo losing a lot, to be honest with you. They got a nice team. They put together a good roster around him. The only way that they don't do well is if Allen gets hurt. If Allen gets hurt, all bets off because he is their offense.
Yeah, but we can say that for a lot of teams. But hopefully everybody stays healthy this season.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see some good football and have a good season. So I'm excited for the season. I'm excited for the start of this new channel. We're gonna be with y'all all season. reporting on any breaking news. We're gonna be doing the live streams before each game. We also gonna be live streaming before the preseason games coming up. So make sure y'all locked in. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe so y'all don't miss none of the new videos we upload. And make sure y'all stay up to date with everything that's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and drop our Twitter information up on the screen. We also have a couple other hosts that's a part of this show that's going to be dropping in from time to time. So make sure you go ahead and follow everybody on Twitter so you know when we going live, when we doing the show, and when we posting our videos. Any parting words, Charles?
Listen, I'll meet y'all at the game, man. Meet me at the bank. All right.
That's right.
I'm checking in from the bank. I'll be in 9/11. I'll be in New Jersey, repping the home team, man. And I will be locking in to this podcast there. So you'll get to experience that with me also, man. That's all I got.
For sure. All right. So again, make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. And in the comments section, drop what you think the Ravens ending record at the end of the season is going to be. I'm curious to see what everybody has in mind for the Ravens going into 2022. So until the next time, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Peace.